I'm going to be extremely practical today, okay? Like I said, I'm going to leave a lot of time for Q&A, but I'm going to do a lot of screen sharing. I'm going to show you precisely how to do things. At the end of the day, winning in social media is about the details, okay? And so whether you're here as a beginner, whether you're here as what you consider to be a pro, you're going to get something out of today's training, because at the end of the day, winning in social is about small details. You know, I don't know how many of you remember when I would go around and teach how to do, like when you sold a home, how do you actually post a congratulations message, right? And I said, we're all doing it wrong. It's the smallest details, you know? So what do? We go in, we take a picture with the person, like both of them right there. So you're in the picture, you post it, and you don't tag them, right? Because they are at that moment, they just closed. They might miss that tag. We want them to share it with their people, because there's little words in the algorithm like congratulations that all of a sudden pushes it to the top of the feed. That's why, you know, new babies, engagements, marriages, new jobs, home sales, those things all get a ton of engagement because there's words in the algorithm. The reason we don't tag them is because we don't want them to miss it. So we wait a few days after before we tag them in that post. Now that they've slowed down, we bump it back to their attention. Now they see the tag. Now they share it with their people. They see you. They see, I'm not even teaching that strategy right now. I skipped a lot of details. But the point is that one little detail of waiting to tag them makes all the difference in the world. And that is a microcosm for what I mean when I say that when it comes to social media, it's all about the step-by-step, the smallest things. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. You know, I'm also doing this today because so many of the trainings I've seen by gurus that are out there, to be very honest for a second, all of these gurus who are showing you how to have huge followings and how to get more attention and how to get more engagement and how to get all of these things, most of them have almost no following at all. And yet they're teaching you how to do that. And I've always had a little bit of a problem with that. It's like successful coaches who make their whole success on creating courses and selling them to other people on how to be a successful coach. And it's like, do you do anything? Like, do you, you know, it just seems backwards. And so I've been asked a lot to do something on social because I've gotten to a point where in the last few years, I've went from 0 to over 150,000 plus followers that are completely real. And that doesn't even count my MySpace account, guys. I mean, just imagine how massive that would be, right? Some of you are like, what the heck is MySpace? But I've done that without buying one follower, which is very rare in today's world. You know, everywhere I go, I run into every local realtor with a dream who has more followers than me, but 237 views on every one of their videos. And those are purchased, guys. Those aren't real. And so I want to show you how to do it for real. You can always tell when you see people with these massive followings, but their videos get no views, or they put up a picture and 3 minutes in, it has 2 likes. And by 5 minutes, it has 247, that's a bot. That's purchased. That's not real. That is not what I'm talking about today. That's not what I want you to be doing. I'm talking about legitimate. How do we actually use social media to be visible? Because as much as a lot of us try to say it, a following does matter. How many followers you have does matter. It's about visibility. It's not about vanity. It's about visibility. And I have said for how many years now, guys, visibility trumps ability. But one of the main themes of the advance later this month is going to be visibility is your responsibility. In the market we're in today, visibility not only trumps ability, visibility is your responsibility. We're in a market right now where 68% of consumers did a transaction with an agent who in the previous 12 months had done between 0 and 2 transactions. Think about that for a second. 68% of people bought or sold a house through somebody, an agent, who in the previous 12 months had sold between 0 and 2 transactions. That's crazy. And think about it. Why did they do that? They didn't do that because that agent was the best. They did it because that agent was an option. And that is the key thing that I want us to understand when it comes to social media. It's that visibility trumps ability, but visibility is our responsibility. Okay. And we are in a game right now where you may not think that you're in the content creation game. You may not think, it doesn't matter what game you think you're in. you are in the visibility game, whether you like it or not. And like I've said for the past 12 months, if you are not educating your consumer, then they're hearing from some newscaster making 40 grand a year reading a teleprompter with no pants on. Like, that's who they're hearing from. And so we have a responsibility to be educating people on what's actually going on in the marketplace. And you can't do that if you're not visible. You can't do that if you're not, followed, right? We are in an ease of use economy. When I use Uber, it's not because Uber is cheaper than taxi, it's actually more expensive. And when Uber actually gets there, I don't do a double check and go, is that the highest rated Uber possibly in this city? Is that the best one? No, it was the most available. And the point is, that's the economy we're in right now. We're in the economy of convenience. We're in the economy of ease of use, because that example of the Uber is a microcosm of how consumers are acting today. Because many times they are not working with the best agent in your area. What they're working with is the most visible, the one that's available, the one that they know about. I was just joking with the company I was just on, and I was talking about when I was an agent. What I used to do is I used to pull all of the transactions in my MLS in every area that I worked over the previous 12 months. And then I would pull how many transactions happened in the last 12 months. And then I would actually subtract the number of transactions that I personally did in that time frame. And I would be left with a total number of transactions that I didn't do, that I had nothing to do with. And then I would ask myself a very simple question. And that question was, why? Why did they not use me to go through that process? And if I wanted to feel good about myself, I would tell myself about people whose grandmother used their grandson who has an agent, has a license or something like that. But the truth was, they didn't select me because I wasn't an option. I wasn't visible. I wasn't an option. And so I had no chance for them to use me. What I want all of you to remember when we start talking about social media right now is you're not in high school anymore. Okay. That game of rejection and trying not to be rejected, high school's over. Okay. Now, maybe some of you watching are in high school, but most of you, high school's over. We went from the game of trying not to be rejected to now your goal is to be rejected. And the only way that you become the most rejected agent in your area is to be the most visible agent in your area. The last thing you ever want to do, guys, I've got 2 kids in high school. And I told my older son the other day, I said, I haven't done my job as your father if you peak in high school. Okay. I'm not looking for you to peak in high school. Everybody I know who peaked in high school is not doing well right now. I've been to the reunions. Okay. Those days of avoiding rejection, those are over. Our job now is to be rejected. I want you to remember that, okay? So we're going to move forward here. One last time, I'm going to tell you guys, if you're watching this right now, I always believe that when you do something good, it's not just for you, it's for everybody else. Hit that share button. Share this so that the other people can glean from this, can learn from this. That's why I do it. It makes, honestly, the more we do that kind of stuff, the more of these lives that I'll do, because if I see that it's working and that people are sharing it and they're getting good information, I'll do more of these. I will listen to my team and do way more live streams with trainings and those things. So if you want that to happen, hit that share button. I'd appreciate the world out of you for that, okay? First rule, guys, today's gonna be very practical. I'm gonna do a lot of screen sharing. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do things, exactly how I do things. But the first rule we need to understand is that when it comes to social and gaining followers and creating content and doing those things, the first rule that I want you to get in your mind is that we need to learn to post consistently with absolutely no expectation of result. No expectation of result. This is not, I wonder if that'll get a bunch of likes. I wonder if that went over well. Putting it up and deleting it 10 minutes later because it didn't work well. Remember that show Friends or Seinfeld or whatever? For every sitcom, Friends, Seinfeld, whatever it was, there was 57 other sitcoms you've never heard of because they didn't do well. But the reason NBC is NBC is because they were a distribution channel and they didn't bank on the non-hits. They banked on the hits. And that's something you're going to hear me say over and over again today. We've got to be a distribution channel. We have got to distribute content. We have to put stuff up. And we're going to talk about what that means on a regular basis with absolutely no expectation of result. Because here's what I know when we talk about building visibility, because we're in a scary time right now, guys. Like there's a lot of good people who are going to get hurt in this market we're in because they're not an option. But I'll tell you this, your consumers, the people in your marketplace, serious people, are not going to follow someone whose profile has no consistent content, who's sporadic. You'll get the viewers, but they won't go through. What good is traffic in a store if they're not going over to the register? They're not ultimately buying something. All they're doing is getting in the way. And that's what a lot of you are, is that you're a convenience store with no cash register. People are showing up, but they're not buying. People are showing up, but they're not, because we don't have consistent content. People are not going to follow a profile with absolutely no humanization. I can tell you this, if your profile pic is a cat, I know two things about you. I know you probably comment a lot on Twitter, now known as X, and I know that you're not going to gain any following worth anything when it comes to the visibility game of real estate. Okay, I know that if I go through, I was just doing this. I just got a bunch of new followers this morning, and a lot of times I'll go through and I'll randomly pick people and just kind of check them out and whatever. And I did, and probably half of them who are in real estate, all of their posts were nothing but houses, 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 this going through a house, this over, whatever. Like that, that's not humanization. You are at that point, you're building the brand of real estate, but you're not building the brand of you. And I'm here to tell you that real estate, the brand, does not need you to help build it, okay? It's not gonna pay your bills. And there is a huge difference, by the way, because a lot of times when people start to get into this social game, they get motivated, they start thinking about it, and they overthink it. And they start to go, well, what's my niche? What's my niche? Now, guys, there is a difference between niche and brand, and both can coexist at the same time, okay? It's good to have a niche. It's good to have many niches, right? But it's better to have a brand. You know, I have a niche. I'm followed by, like when I look at these numbers right now, a lot of you are probably in real estate. Like I have a niche in real estate, okay? But I have a brand as an entrepreneur as Jared James. I have a portfolio of companies. I'm able to put out other content that doesn't even relate to real estate, other than the fact it's business entrepreneurial, and yet in some way it is. And I've been very specific about that. I've been very specific about posting personal stuff. I was very specific. I put up a story last night. I'm sitting in my house prepping. I don't care that my hair's messed up. It's not done. It's not whatever. I've created a brand that connects people to me personally. And you do that through vulnerability and just being who you are, right? Not through the act of perfection. It's who you actually are, right? And that's what you want to ultimately connect people to. So brand and niche are not mutually exclusive. You can have niches, have a luxury niche, have a, I'm a realtor niche, have a whatever, while also building your brand. One is not the other. And the reason a lot of you struggle with that is because you don't put out enough content to build both. You have three things. So you're like, so I do one here, one here, one there. Well, that's not enough. But if you put out enough content, you would. But a lot of you struggle with, well, what do I do for content, right? Like, we're going to talk about that today. The truth is, though, until you understand our role as content creators in real estate now, that's the world we live in now. Social media is modern day marketing. It's the old open house ads in the newspaper. It is the billboard. It is all of these things. This is now modern day marketing, and not enough of us have adjusted to that. Until you understand that and you identify as a content creator, you will never fully commit to it. You'll never fully commit to it. And just so you know, guys, I'm looking off to the side here, and my ticker is just shy of 1,000 users there. Whatever. Hit that share button. I so want that. The competitive side of me is like, get that sucker over 1,000. I know I'm looking at a different ticker than you guys are, but yeah, side note, that's just my competitive brain is like, come on, let's hit the 4 numbers here, not just that. So you've got to identify as a content creator. Otherwise, you'll never fully commit to it. You'll dabble with it. You'll overthink it. Which tools should I use? I'm actually going to show you guys exactly what tools I use today. I'm going to give you a link to an Amazon cart that, like, here it is. Like, here's the stuff that I use. You can do it, whatever. But I know that if you overthink that stuff and that's the only questions you're asking me, you're probably never going to follow through because you're over intellectualizing it. Whereas, what did I say before? You've got to post consistently with no expectation of a result. That's what it comes down to. You've got to post consistently and adjust as you go. I just hired, some of you have probably noticed on like my Facebook, my Instagram reels, my TikTok reels, all these things. I've got new editing I'm trying out, right? I've got an editor that I'm giving a shot to, right? And I'm already making adjustments. I've already gone back and forth with him and just telling him, I want this. I don't like that. That's to this. I don't like the whatever, right? But I'm making adjustments as I go. They weren't perfect. I didn't love them, but I didn't not do them or stop doing them. One of my good friends, I heard him say in a training once, he said, you can't steer a parked car. You can't steer a parked car. It's got to be in action. It's got to be moving in order to determine and make left and right and make those adjustments and actually end up somewhere, right? And so I am actively doing what I'm telling you to do. When I say actively posting on a regular basis, trying things out, I'm trying out an editor right now, and we'll kind of see where it goes, okay? So with that being said, that's my official intro. Let's get into this, guys. We are still just short of the 1,000 mark on the eyeball. So hit that share button, guys. Let's get more people on here. Text people, say, get your butt on here. I want that thing to hit 1,000. Like, it's going to drive me nuts if that sucker does not hit 1,000. But if it does hit 1,000, I'll be doing more of these, okay? So let's start easy. I'm going to start small, and then we're going to grow, and then we're going to get into some more like screen share type of stuff. Where should you be active? The easiest answer to that question is Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, okay? That's the easiest answer. Now, I would say Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, okay? But, you know, me personally, I'm on actively Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn. Do I post on Threads and X, which used to be Twitter, now it's X? Yes, I do. I don't expect a huge response from them, but I do post there. But the place I get my greatest result, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and then I post on LinkedIn. I get a decent response there, but it's something, right? It's something. I don't determine where other people are. So you may be a Facebook person. You may be an Instagram person. You may be a whatever it is. But it doesn't matter what you are. All that matters is where they are. And we have to give them an opportunity to connect with us. So do I have different audiences on these places? Yes, I do. Do I get a younger audience over here? Yes, I do. Do I have to do things different for each one of them? Yes. I'm going to show you specifically what I post, how I come up with that, how you can come up with it. But I can tell you, I post organically on every site. You go, oh, that's going to take so much time. It's like 10 seconds, guys. It's literally like 10 seconds, okay? But it's modern day marketing. When you use one of those tools like a Hootsuite or one of these other places, and you're using it to post to all these places all at once, the algorithm within those platforms knows that you're doing that. And so it doesn't get the same response. You need to organically go to Facebook, like your business page, my fan page, upload. Go to Facebook, my personal profile, upload. Go to Instagram Reels, upload. Go to TikTok, upload, right? That's what I do. I don't do them all at once. So you'll notice I'll go and take a reel. I'm going to actually do it live for you guys today. I've got a new video I can put up. And I will take a reel and I will put it up on, you know, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And then I'll wait 2 or 3 days before I put it up on Facebook Reels, on my fan page, because I'm allowing it to live beyond its time. It generally has a lifespan of about 2 days or so. And once it ends on those platforms, well, now I bring it over to the others so that people who follow me on all platforms are getting value at all times, right? And that's there's a strategy behind that, okay? So we have to be doing something. You can't steer a parked car. So we also need to understand when we talk about video being uploaded, we're going to talk about what it is and what to post. I think that's what you guys are going to get really interested in, because I'm going to show you some tricks that how you can figure out exactly what to post to get great engagement. You have to understand that when it comes to Reels, you don't post regular videos. You post Reels, R-E-E-L-S. Reels on Instagram and Facebook are 90 seconds, 90 seconds or less. Reels on YouTube Shorts. I'm not talking about YouTube Shorts, okay? Those are 60 seconds or less. TikTok, depending on your account, could be up to 10 minutes, okay? So you've got different types of videos you can post. I try to keep most of my Reels for Instagram 60 seconds or less so I can also put them on YouTube Shorts. But sometimes you'll notice I'll have a longer video on Instagram Reels than I have on YouTube Shorts, and I just cut some of it, or I did something different to it, or we cut it up a little bit different, okay? You'll notice that that's absolutely happening, okay? So Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts are the 3 you need to be on. I also big on TikTok, LinkedIn. I do post on Threads and X, but you know, they don't get a huge engagement factor. but I do it just in case. You just never know. But again, organically to each one. You're like, I don't have time. Well, I'd love to follow you around and see what it is that you actually have time to do, okay? The next thing you're going to want to do, and I'm going to screen share this just to make it really simple for you. A lot of you have seen this before, but it just kind of drives home the point here. So let me find this. I believe you guys can see this page right here. This is my digital business card, okay? So when you look at connectwithjared.com, I say that everywhere I go, right? What am I doing with this digital business card? I'm making it easy for people to connect with me. My podcast is here. All of my social sites are here. Everything's easy. What we don't want to do is we don't want to have a profile where we're doing things like, you know, on Facebook, follow me here. On Instagram, follow me here. On this one, follow me here. On blah, 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 blah. And you're doing all of that kind of stuff. That's nonsense. Nobody's going to do that. My podcast is over here. This is over here. Make it easy for people. In the world we live in today, every single one of you needs to have a digital business card. I believe my team actually makes those at Jarja Media. If you don't know how to do them yourself, if somebody on my team could post it, I think it's jarjamedia.com/digital card. Remind me at the end and I'll look it up and post it. But you need to have a digital business card. That digital business card, connectwithtracy.com, connectwithfran.com, whatever that is, needs to be in all of your signatures. You need to be able to be in front of people and say it. It needs to be very simple so people can go to one spot and they can pick how they want to connect with you without you naming all the different ones. Another reason why it's important for you to be on everyone. This is basic stuff right now, guys. We're starting small, but these are the basics of it, okay? When you see me say connectwithjared.com, very simply, I am just making it easy for everyone to connect with me, for my podcast to be there. One spot, you decide where you want to go, okay? Real quick, somebody said, why a reel and not a regular video? Because it's about what the platforms are promoting, okay? So the platforms promote stories. The platforms, notice on Facebook Live, did any of you notice that I'm doing Facebook Live and not Instagram Live, even though I'm much more active on Instagram? Well, why is that? Because the platform, Facebook, highly promotes live, okay? And so I want to actually get on here and make sure that I am using the platform that promotes. I'm using what it is they promote that they're going to show to more people, right? Facebook Live gets way more viewers than Instagram Live. No matter how many followers I have on Instagram, it gets way more than Instagram. So I'm going to follow the algorithm of what the platforms want. So when I say you don't post regular video, you post reels, why is that? Because those platforms are promoting that particular vehicle, reels. They don't want regular video, they want reels, okay? R-E-E-L-S. That is the short answer to that question. Now, let's talk about what I'm actually using, right? And then we'll get into the main content of what I want to talk about today. For any of you that have watched me on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or one of those places, and you see me talking in my backyard, or I'm on the road walking through an airport, and the sound is crystal clear, right? What that is I'm using this thing. I'm using what's called, here we go. This is a Movo. Now I'm going to give you a link to this, okay? So this thing right here, this little Movo, this charges in. That's what this was. It was plugged into here. You plug it into the wall, USB. This plugs right into the bottom of my phone, okay? And I've got a link to this. I'm going to give it to you guys in a second, both for the iPhone and the Android. This plugs into here. Once this plugs into my phone, I literally just take this part right here, the microphone, clip it on my shirt, turn it on, it automatically syncs, and I'm good to go. It automatically noise cancels. It makes adjustments for me talking louder and not louder. It gets rid of wind. It gets rid of all of that stuff. And I can bring this anywhere. It's super simple, okay? And so that right there, that's my Movo, my wireless mic. Again, I'm going to give you guys a link for an Amazon cart where you can actually go in and see all of this stuff. When you see me standing up and talking, when I'm outside or I'm doing one of those things, okay? This is what I'm using right here. This is a Pivo tripod, okay? Now this sucker will literally, I've got it tall right now. I can collapse this thing and I can make it super short to where it's literally just like this, or I can make it so it's super tall and it's filming me like that. But the main point of this, and this is the biggest part of it all, and this is why you all need something like this when you're shooting your video, this sucker will do this, which means it holds the camera, you know, horizontally. But the most important thing is all video right now is vertical. So I want it to hold my camera like that, because all video right now, when it comes to when it comes to, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, TikTok, any, like, outside of, I'm trying to think if the only place where I shoot normal video is on our podcast, where we use an actual camcorder. Okay. And even then we take it and we verticalize it when we go to share it. All video right now is vertical. So you need some kind of a tripod like this. This is through Pivo, pivo.ai, but I'm going to give you a link right now. There's also a thing that goes on the top, a camera, a camera holder, a phone holder that I'll actually move with you if you want it to, through AI. It's kind of crazy. But the main thing I use for them is actually just the tripod. So it's pretty cool. I'm going to put, but I will do this at the end as well. I'm going to put in the chat for you guys what the link is to the Amazon page, so that if you want any of this stuff, just go check it out. Let me go into the chat here. Boom, 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 write a comment, boom. I just put it in the chat. That's the Amazon cart, where you can see, not only that, you can see the light that I use. So we use a ring light. I got one right in front of me right now that's lighting me up. Those are simple things. Now, I want to be clear. You don't need those things. Like when I'm outside, so a lot of times the videos that get the most views for me are me just walking and holding my phone like this, just boom, just doing, just like that, right? But when I'm shooting more of like a specific video, or a specific, like I have an actual topic that I want to cover, and I've been ready, and I've got it, and I want to set up a tripod, and I want to put on the mic because I'm not right next to my phone, or I'm going to be walking, or if I'm going through a house, or I'm doing something like that, well, then I'm absolutely going to be using my Movo mic, right? Because no matter how far away I go, crystal clear, getting rid of all the outside noise, all of those things. That is some of the how-tos as far as the actual tools that are used. I've got a lot more tools we could go over, but that's not really the point of what I want to do today, right? I saw someone post here, like, what do you use for your podcast? We use a Sony Handycam 4K for the podcast. I do want to make a point, because somebody asked in the chat, am I going to be discussing podcasts today? No. Every one of you needs a podcast, but not for the reason you think. This is actually really important, actually. I wasn't going to cover this. Give me 15 seconds. You need a podcast not to gain followers, right? Not to gain, like, my podcast is for the world. I'm going to get a lot of views. I'm going to get, like, it's a different thing. You're a local realtor, most likely, or a local business. Your podcast is not necessarily for views or visibility, although it could work for that. It's for access, okay? What you want to do is you want to have a podcast because those people you've been trying to get in front of, that builder who builds a lot of different developments, who won't give you the time of day because every realtor is reaching out, you need to play to their ego. Invite them on your podcast and say, our people deserve to hear from the expertise you have and for what you have to say. I would love to interview you on our podcast. And now you've got the ego of that guy or gal sitting there going, they do deserve to hear what I have to say. I do. And now, instead of saying, can I buy you coffee, when they can buy their own coffee, you're leveraging your podcast as a form of access to gain access to people in your area that you need to be friendly with, who wouldn't normally give you the time of day. Okay. That is why having a podcast matters for a local agent. Okay. Guys, we are 7 away from that 1,000. Hit that share button, guys. We're almost there. Okay. So yes, that matters. Podcast matters, but for that reason, I wasn't planning on covering that. Let's talk about best way to actually grow a following. Okay. The easy answer is by posting consistent content. What did I say in the beginning? Nobody's going to follow a profile that does not have consistent content. But the next best thing, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do this, is to show up in front of more people who don't follow you. Okay. That's important. I've said for years when teaching business strategy that your business will grow in relation to the number of people who this morning had never heard of you, but by this afternoon have to make a decision about you, right? I've said over and over again, our job is to give people the chance to know us, KNOW, so they have a chance to know us, NO, right? Like, that's visibility, but in front of people who don't know you. It's not just, contrary to what you've been told, it's not just about your sphere of influence. It's about those who don't know about you, but have to make a decision about you. And there's a bunch of ways we do that. And I'm going to talk about those. One is you want to make sure that your content is not creating likes, it's creating comments and shares. We used to have a thing called Edge Rank, which was how the social channels would determine how many people your post would show up in front of. And so for a lot of you that were posting all of your listings at 123 Nobody Cares Street, EdgeRank would take that and go, nope, not showing this to anybody, not going to do it. This isn't worthwhile. Nobody cares. And so they would see that. You would work against your EdgeRank. We no longer use EdgeRank. Now we have a machine learning algorithm that the platforms use. And the main thing they look for is comments and shares. Why do you think right in the beginning I said, comment where you're from, comment where you're from. And then I said, share, hit that share button, share with everybody. Because when you comment and you share, what is it telling the platform? It's telling them, this is great. People are loving it. We need to show this to more people who didn't even ask to see it. We need to put it in their timeline so more and more people see it, right? So we want comments and we want shares, right? And that's why I've gone around the last year and I've been telling people what to post, and I've given them simple things like ask people on your, your Facebook, your Instagram, whatever, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely would you be to sell your home if I found you another home at a great price and I can get you the price, and we ask questions like that. Hey, what's one thing your next house is going to have? By the way, guys, went over 1,000, winning. That feels so good. What's one thing your next house is going to have your current one doesn't? Why am I doing that? Because I want people to comment, even if they're having fun, because the more they comment, that's going to hit that algorithm and it's going to start to show up in front of more people. Okay. When we're doing this, whenever we're posting content, we need to be thinking about who the end user is. Okay. I sometimes post, and I'm going to start showing this. I sometimes post content to appease my base. And what I mean by that is, a lot of you on here, if I were to say, hey, how many of you are in real estate? It's a lot of you. And I know what it is you guys want to hear about. I know that if I put out tomorrow a template or a strategy on getting a listing and I say, go here to get this, the template to go get those lists, I'm going to get views and shares out the wazoo because that's what you guys want. You want that kind of stuff. But in order to appease the algorithm and to continue to grow my brand, I need to show up in front of people who have never heard of me before, right? So I've got to think about that and I've got to make decisions that's going to go to my non-follower base. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. So I'm going to screen share this. I am hoping to God this is going to work. Let's see here. Present. We shall see, guys. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That would really suck, but let's just hope it works. It looks like it's going to work, okay? If you see my phone right now, hit that thumbs up, okay? Hit that thumbs up on the thing there, and I'll know that you see this. So here's what's going to happen, right? When I go to my actual Instagram, this is my Instagram, right? I'm Jared James today on everything, right? What you'll notice here is I've got things pinned at the top, most powerful, influential leaders in real estate. Because again, when people visit my store, I want them to close out. So I need to put things up here that they're going to be interested in, right? But let's take a look at what else we have here. Let's take a look at like something that's going to draw somebody in. Now, I posted this video the other day. Let's put it on here. I think you guys can actually hear it. Let's see here. I'll turn it on. Where real estate conglomerate of big companies settled for around 83.5 million. So I did this video where I knew that it would not only relate to you guys, but I knew that it would relate to other people who don't follow me because it's about the real estate industry overall. So I put this video up, okay, got 767 or 769 views, whatever. You take a look at this here. It was shared 664 times. But what I really care about here when I scroll down, because just so you guys know, all I'm doing is I'm hitting view insights on the bottom left. I'm well aware some of you can't see the screen super well, but you're going to be able to. This is recorded. You can go back and zoom in and really get this. But when I hit view insights at that bottom left of my video, it's going to give me the insights. And then here's what I care about. Look at this. I had almost 10,000 non-followers go and look at that, right? Because I knew that that would get people from that perspective that would go and look at that video. Non-followers, right? I did a thing on the big cities are at war, right? They continue to make dumb decisions. I went on here. Look at this. Almost half of the people who saw that, non-followers. And this is just real world stuff, guys. I'm not making this up. Should a buyer wait for the market to crash? Okay. I'm aware. I go to my insights. Look at that. I had more people that were non-followers watch that than people who were followers. So I am putting up content on a regular basis that I know is stuff that my non-base is going to be into because it's overall market stuff. the more that I can get in front of non-followers, and the more that they're coming to my profile and seeing a lot of content, and they're seeing a lot of personality, and they're seeing a lot of, I am now able to cash in and take those visitors to my store and turn them into followers, okay? Let's talk about how else you're gonna do that, because there's really a few different ways you can do this, okay? So we've got the posting content, knowing who your end user is, and posting content that relates to your user, but then also posting content that has, almost it's more of an overall that's going to gain non-followers. And then you can go look and see what went to non, what went to not. What else can you do for content? This one's simple, guys. If you go into your search and you just start searching hashtags and you say renting versus buying, check that out. When I put that in and I hit enter and I go renting versus buying, you want to talk about content ideas. This is going to show me everybody who has used the hashtag renting versus buying. And what I can do is I can go through here and I can see, okay, what kind of response did I get? Okay, this guy's got 1,378 hearts. Okay, I don't even know who he is. 1,378. I'd go look at what is he saying. He's talking about renting versus buying. What did he put on the top there when he edited it? He put that title, Dave Ramsey, which probably renting is dead, money. And then I look at that, had a lot of likes. I'm going to look at, I'm just going to go through here and literally look for people who are putting up stuff that relates to my marketplace. I don't even know who these people are, just so you know. I'm just literally, hey, let's see if we have any sound here. This is probably a good example. When renters realize they're paying their landlord's mortgage, and then she takes a funny joke and goes, we're switching sides. This tells you at the bottom what the music is they use. You can go steal that music and you can literally recreate that video. That video, just to give you an idea, like when you start to look at these guys, it is literal content ideas. It's not genius stuff. It's very simple. You're just going in and using hashtags that you think your potential consumer would use. And then you just search through, you find ones that have the most views. You find ones that fit your personality. You see exactly what they wrote, and then you recreate it. It's really not that difficult, okay? So you're just copying others based on the hashtags you're doing. What else can you do? Let me get out of this here, guys, and I'm gonna show you some other stuff you can do. If you go into, I'm gonna screen share here. If you go into, let's just go back to Connect with Jared. If you go into, let's just go to Google, okay? And you search on Google and you put something like best realtor in Milford, Connecticut. Okay, I'm just gonna put best realtor in Milford, Connecticut. Okay, when I put that on there, let's take a look at this here. What's gonna happen is when I scroll down the page, okay, I'm gonna start to see other things people also ask. That's what I'm looking for. When I put in some kind of a search and then I scroll down on Google, and actually I just realized you guys are not seeing the Connect with Jared, so let me get off of this and I'll put the one on so you can actually see what it is I'm sharing. My bad, everybody. Let me pull you up there. Screen share. Here we go. Now you'll see it. Okay, so when I typed in best realtor in Milford, Connecticut, I'm typing in as if I'm a consumer, right? All I care about is this right here. People also ask. It happens halfway down the page. When I look, let me see if I can make this larger for you guys so you guys can see it a little bit bigger. Maybe, no, yes, let's see. There you go. Okay, so when I'm on here, at the bottom, people also ask. You see that? People also ask, how do I find the best local real estate agent? Should I hire a local realtor? The other place you want to be using that not enough people are using right now is Google. Type in searches as if you are a consumer. Don't care about the results. Don't care at the top where it's got Zillow and it's got Rep and it's got all these different places you're never going to be able to compete with. I'm scrolling halfway down, and when it says people also ask, those searches are exactly what I am going to make a video on, because what Google is doing is they are telling you what their algorithm is. So if I go make a video that is exactly what that is, and I go make a video called, how do I find the best local real estate agent? How do I find the best agent in Milford? And then, should I hire a local realtor? And the video is by me. What Google is saying is that whenever somebody goes and searches best realtor in Milford, Connecticut, whatever it is, They're telling you under that people also search by, what they're telling you is these are the results we're going to give them every time. Make a video with that exact name. Because when you make a video with that exact name and you put it on YouTube Shorts or YouTube, or you do a blog, whatever it is, who do you think Google's going to return? Google owns YouTube. So they're returning that. So rather than trying to figure out what content should I do, which one should I be doing for this, which, whatever, what you want to do at the end of the day is you want to say, hey, what is Google telling me I should search based on what I put in the search engine? People also ask, make those exact videos. That is how you will win. Let's use another one here, just because I saw someone say, like, what else could we type in? I saw that. So let me just give you another example here. Let me pull it up again. If I go to this and I say, let's go best way to sell my house. Let me make sure you guys can see it. Yes, you can. Best way to sell my house in Milford, Connecticut. Okay, let's see what comes up. So I hit return. Okay, I don't care about any of these results, guys. None of them. They don't mean anything to me. Okay, here it is. Okay, what's the most profitable way to sell a house? By the way, when it gives something negative, right? How do I sell my house without a realtor in Connecticut? I would make that video. And then I'd say, but do you really want to do that? That's not very smart. When it says, is it a good time to sell a house in Connecticut? What's the best place to sell? Like all of these things, guys, under people also ask, what is this telling you? This is telling you, like, those are the exact content pieces you should be creating. And when I say to you guys, look, I went from 0 to 150,000 plus, I can't tell you how often I did stuff just like that, where I'd look up what were people looking for with a coach? What were people looking for with a speaker? What do I do? And I made exact videos that I knew were going to put me in front of non-followers who had never heard of me, who now have to make a decision about me because I'm creating the content that ultimately the platforms, their algorithm is returning. Does that make sense to everybody? I hope it is. I hope you find value in that. I hope that you understand just how valuable that is, because you could do that every day, all day, and never run out of things. What about if we did, let me try another one here. I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to show this to you guys in a second. Okay, let me share this with you. 1 second, everybody. I'm going to give you a little YouTube hack here. Okay, just give me 1 second. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. I showed up on YouTube. All right, let me share this here so you can see my YouTube. Present, share screen, YouTube. Okay. What if I type best realtor in Milford, Connecticut? Okay. Now I'm going to look for here's what I'm doing when I do this. Okay. I don't care about all the crazy whatever. I am looking for what has the most views. How many of you, if I could see your hands, if I said, hey, you're going to make a video tomorrow and it's going to have 6,300 views, would you be for that? I think you would, right? That's 6,300 dedicated people. You don't need the same kind of following I have. You're a local realtor. So what I would do is I would look along this and I'd say, what gets views on that platform? 7 best things about living in Milford. Why would you not go and say, I just did a thing for Toronto, 7 best things about living in Toronto? Top reasons to move, like look for what has the most number of views. And once you find the things that has the most number of views, literally recreate those videos. Your content can be different. You know, what you're exactly what you're saying can be different. But when you go to those platforms, do a search, look at the results. Whatever they're telling you on there, those exact titles, look at the number of views they're having. If it's getting a lot of views, what is that telling you? They're telling you that in our algorithm, that's what's going to get a lot of results, okay? Now, what else is going to get you in front of people who don't know about you, okay? It used to be that hashtags were huge, okay? And hashtags on some level still have their place, but your description is way more valuable now than hashtags. And hashtags really still live on places like TikTok and Instagram. Places like Facebook, and they're not as big, right? But now what they do, because they're so able to do keywords, is that they will look at your descriptions as much or more than they will look at your hashtags, okay? Now, I've been thinking about how to actually do this to like demonstrate this to you. I'm going to post an Instagram reel, Okay. So I'm literally going to show this to you and I'm going to post an Instagram reel. So let's pull this up. I've never done this before. Let's hope this goes well. There's a chance that it won't. I'm going to take this. I'm going to hit share. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to take my Instagram here and I'm going to post a reel. So I'm going to hit that little plus in the middle at the bottom and I'm going to hit reel. When I hit reel, I'm now going to go and grab the video that I want to post, which is this video right here. I had it edited, so I don't have to, go and put in captions. But if I wanted to do captions, I would literally just hit that sticker at the top right, and then I would just hit captions at the top left. Okay. I'm not going to do that though. Let me turn off the sound on this. I don't need to do captions. I don't need to do anything because I had it edited. So all I'm going to do is I uploaded it. I'm going to hit next at the bottom. Okay. Now I could either keep that cover. I had a cover made. So I'm going to edit the cover and it's going to let me either pick it or I'm going to actually just go and download one. See, right now it's going to pull up different parts of my video. I can choose what the cover is going to look like, but I'm going to hit add from camera roll because I had one made. Okay. So I'm going to use that one right there. Have you ever dated someone crazy? Now that's not necessarily the whole thing I'm talking about, but I know it's going to grab people. Okay. So I'm going to upload that when I see it. And now I'm going to write a caption. And I'm not even sure what I want to say here, guys, but I'll say like, I'll say realtors, because I want this to actually, the keywords to go to you guys. Please stop saying the market is crazy. The market as it is exactly why you are needed. Know your value. And I'm going to say, and thank God, no, or Agostini, thank God that not just anyone can do what you do. Now, here's the next part of what I'm going to do. So I'm using a lot of keywords in there. Now I'm going to hit enter, enter. Now I'm going to start doing hashtags. Now, when I'm doing hashtags, it will tell me which I should use. So for example, when I start typing in realtor, take a look at this. Realtor, hashtag realtor, has been used 38 million times, whereas realtors has only been used 4.7. So which one do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to do the top one, realtor. And I'm going to go hashtag realtors of Instagram, because that's a popular one. I'm going to do real estate market. I'm going to do buying versus selling. I'm going to do real estate coach. Actually, I think I'm going to do coach. Let me see. Coaching. I think coach gets more. Real estate coach. I'm going to do hashtag real estate training. Okay. And I'm going to let it go. I'm going to share it also to my feed. That's what that's there for. I don't have any people I want to tag. I'm not going to do any audio. I don't know if a lot of you know this, but if you do audio, you can't boost the post. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. If I were you, I would absolutely add location. Okay. So I'm just going to do Jared James. You need to add your location. It'll show up more to people in your area based on that. So you absolutely want to add your location. Then I'm going to hit share. Okay. Now, when I share this, I'm going to show you guys some tips and tricks here. Okay. After I share this, let's let this post here. It'll just take a second. Okay. Main thing though, you need to understand from their descriptions have become as important, if not more important. Now, if you're watching this right now, guys, go to Instagram, like that sucker, and maybe comment and say, I'm here. That'll let me know later. I'm going to go look and see who was actually on this. Okay. So I've got that on there. Now, after I share that, I've got that little triangle at the bottom, right in the middle there, the bottom left. Okay. And I can share that to my story. Okay. You can see there at the bottom left says add to your story. So I'm going to add that to my story. Okay. I might even, there we go. Got it. Boom. Okay. I'm going to add it to my story. Boom. I'm going to show you guys some other tricks here in a second, but let's first get that added. Okay. Let that sucker add. And we will go from there. Okay. Now, let me get off of this, come back to you guys. That's about as hands-on as I can be. Like I'm showing you how I'm doing that. I'm showing you exactly what's going on. I'm doing reels, not the others, right? The other way that you gain a following once you actually put those things up by leveraging the algorithm is that you absolutely must, it is a must that you reply to comments that you answer, like you do all of that stuff, guys, like, because they're looking at the comments, especially in that first hour. If you go to my post, go to the post I put up yesterday, go to any one of my posts from any time. A lot of you know this. I'll go on there, even if I'm just doing an emoji or I'm just doing, whatever it happens to be. I am responding to everybody, because what does that do to the algorithm? What does that do to that machine learning algorithm? It tells them this guy is active. When I've got posts like crazy on my profile, when I'm commenting, when I'm putting up stuff that's going out to non-followers, when I'm using the right descriptions, I'm using the right hashtags, I'm using hashtags to find out what content to create, right? Here's another one that's as easy as can be. Let me go back to screen sharing, because I might as well show this, okay? Take a look at this. This is pretty cool. Easiest way to create content today is by using that green screen functionality, right? So if I go to anything, like I just need some content. The best way, by the way, guys, to get content for the real estate industry is Keeping Current Matters. If you go to trykcm.com/Jared James, one of my team, if you could put that in there, trykcm. Look, if I go in here and I put Keeping Current Matters, I'm going to look on Keeping Current Matters for some kind of a blog that's going to, matter to my people. Okay. So I could do any kind of a blog on here. Okay. I could do something about the market, renting versus buying. I can do, whatever it is I want to do. Okay. I'm not sure if I've logged in yet. Let's look. Yep. There we go. Okay. Home prices are not falling. Let's take that article. This article talks about home prices are not falling. I'm going to screenshot this on my phone, okay? Once I screenshot this on my phone, it's going to get saved to my phone. Now I go to Instagram. The number one way to get views, the thing they promote more than anything else right now with these reels, is green screens. So I'm going to hit that plus at the bottom. I'm going to go to my reels, the third one over, reel. I'm going to create a reel, right? When I go to create a reel, I am going to, I believe I hit camera, if I remember correctly. I might be doing this wrong. Nope, I hit camera. So there I am, guys. You can see me. Now that little green man next to me, I'm going to click on that because that's a green screen. I'm going to choose my background. So I'm going to select a background, go to camera roll. I'm going to pick the one that I just had. Now I click on the thing, and I'm literally just going to talk to the camera now and talk about, hey, everybody, everyone who's telling you right now to stay off the fence, that rates are going to go down eventually, whatever. The problem is that prices are not following. The longer you wait, the more it's going to cost you. So while you might be thinking that you're saving in that rate, that you can always refinance, you can never do a clawback on the prices that are happening right now because they're only going, and I would do like a video like that. Okay, I'm going to X this out. I'm not actually going to use that, but just gives you kind of an idea of you can take that now. That's content. It's not even my content. I'm going to an external source. I'm going to cnbc.com. I'm going to whatever it happens to be, okay? Another thing you can do here is you can repurpose old content. So if you go on here and you go to, let me pull this up again. I go onto my profile. I would literally just go back and start looking for stuff I used to talk about or something I did a regular pick about, but now I'm going to do a video. And I would look at that and say, like, what is this here? You aren't burnt out because you're doing too much. You're burnt out because you're doing too much you don't care about. I would take that, my old content, and I'd repurpose it. I'd create a video on that. I'd do something like that. I can do that with so many different things here. I think you guys kind of get the point. Go back to your old content. Just because you've done something once doesn't mean you can't do it over and over again, or do it in a different way, or recycle every 3 months, or do don't put this pressure on yourself. It's what I hear from people all the time. Shoot, I'm not sure what to talk about now. Like, I'm not even sure, like, where do I go? I've already talked about that. You're going to talk about similar things. You're going to talk about them from a different angle. You're going to come from a different perspective. You're going to repeat the same things, but do it in a new video. People won't care. That video that I just showed you guys that I uploaded, the one with me on stage talking about stop saying the market's crazy, I posted that video like 8 months ago. That exact video. We just re-edited it and put it back up. And it's going to get tens of thousands of views because you can repurpose your own content. So between going into other people's stuff, going into hashtags, going into Google and YouTube and seeing what returns up and knowing what it is that you need to do, going into like all of these places, you can be creating content on a regular basis. And then you've got the gift that keeps on giving, which is your own content. And what's amazing is when I tell you guys that I post on all of them, Facebook, Insta, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube Shorts, like all of them, but I do it organically on different days. It's amazing how one will show up and be amazing on one platform, and then on another one's a complete dud. And you don't know which ones it's going to take off on. But another little trick here you can do, which is really smart, is that when you look at your videos and you've been putting up videos for a couple weeks and you start to see what's really performing, here's the secret sauce. Is once you take a look and you see, okay, this particular video is doing amazing, whatever it is, I'm going to take that particular video and now I'm going to pay to promote it. And for all of you that are like, I don't know how to promote. Well, I know I've got a winner. I know people are responding to it. It's getting more views than anything else. So I just click on the video. This is why I don't use music, because you won't be able to do this. I click right under it to the bottom right that says Boost Post. I'm going to hit Boost Post. It's going to ask me, you know, do you want to create more messages? Do you want more profile visits? I want profile visits. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to pick my audience. I'm going to either allow them to pick it or I'm going to create one. I'm going to hit next. And then I am going to take that video and I'm going to boost that video. And now that video that I already know performed well on buying versus renting, or when do you get a pre-approval compared to a pre-qual, whatever it is, I'm now going to pay to promote it to my area, okay? My local area. And now people who have never heard of me are seeing me constantly. And the thing that every single one of you really needs to understand when it comes to marketing is that marketing has two functions. One function is direct call to action, okay? And that's great. That's leads. That's immediate. The second function is branding. And we are not paying enough attention to the branding side of these videos, because your business heading into what we're going into right now would be doing a whole lot better if you understood branding the last 6 months, where every day people were seeing you on their phone. Every day you're the option. Every day, because transactions are happening all around you. The only question is whether your name is on them. That's really all that matters, okay? But you got to be putting out content on a regular basis with no expectation of result, because even when it doesn't get a result, it builds your profile and more people see it and they go, oh, this is an active profile. This is really your NBC. You've got to be putting the distribution out there, and you're going to have some hits and you're going to have some duds. But if you put nothing out, you're going to have nothing, okay? And if you want to be an option, visibility trumps ability. Visibility is your responsibility. That's what ultimately matters, okay? I'm going to go to our contest and then cover one more thing. Should I cover one more thing, though? Do you guys want me to cover one more thing? If you want me to cover one more thing, in the chat, say yes. If you have time for me to cover one more thing before I go to our contest, just say yes in the chat, and I will see that. Otherwise, I'm going to move forward and talk about contests and all that stuff. Guys, we don't talk enough about Facebook groups and leveraging those. The way you will win right now is by being the person in the community. One of the greatest ways to be the person in the community is through Facebook groups, creating a local group, what's happening in blank, but then giving people a reason to go there, okay? Let me give an example of what I'm talking about, and then I will actually show you how you can do it as well, okay? So we have a group, and that group, let me just show you here. That group, which, let me see which one I'm showing you. I believe you guys can see my group right now, okay? So this is, I believe, let me see here. Let me pull that up. You should be seeing, I think you see my group, okay? So when I'm on here for my group, I'm going to go to Jared James Coaching, okay? So we have a group called Jared James Coaching. Now that group has almost, let's just look at this here. Let me pull this out. It's got almost 23,000 members, right? But here's what I do to pull people in. When you go to files, so for everyone who want to be in our group, go to Jared James Coaching, join the group. I have every slide that I put, every template that you use for campaigns, for business creation, scripts, and guidelines of what to say, and marketing plans, and budgets, and all of these kinds of things that are all in this group on Facebook called Jared James Coaching. Why do I do that? Because when I do that, everybody has a reason to join my group. When I give them a reason to join my group, what do I now have access to? All of them. I can post something, go down in the comments and write at everyone, and 23,000 people see it. So how do you do that locally? Well, you start a local group called What's Happening in Blank. And you start posting about when the fireworks are and when this is happening in the community this and what's going on over here. You start interviewing local people once a week in the group. And what you do is you start interviewing people and you start giving away gift cards, right? Or you start giving away a $25 off. In order to go print out your $25 off to the local pizzeria, whatever it is, you've just got to go to our group, go to files, and download the $25 off. Give them an incentive, because those local businesses will give away those coupons because they want to create traction in their business. You give people in the community a reason to join the group because now they're getting constant discounts, updates on the area, all of this stuff. You're not even posting mainly real estate stuff, but you are the source of everything that's happening. And what's happening? Your following is growing, right? Because they're seeing you and you're the source. You're getting visibility in front of them. You can occasionally post your content in there, nobody else but you, because it's your group. They're seeing your name on a regular basis. They're doing, and again, what it comes down to, visibility trumps ability. But at the end of the day, visibility is your responsibility. And that's the world we live in. And the greatest way to do that today is social media. If you just start to understand that this isn't a nuisance you have on the side, it is absolutely marketing of the world we live in today, and it is a necessity. It deserves your time, just like it deserves mine. I got plenty of things I can do, guys, other than answering DMs from hundreds and hundreds of you later today. But guess what? There's no better use of my time, because the more we connect, the bigger the world becomes, the smaller you can make it for your community, the more people that will help you grow your business, the more people that will work with you. And that is absolutely how you do it. You post consistently without any expectation of results, okay? Post consistently, but when you're posting, how do you decide what that content's gonna be? We just kind of went over that. There are so many other things that we could talk about. But before I cover the last thing I'm gonna cover, I want to do a quick giveaway. So if my team is on this, guys, here's what's gonna happen. Let me grab this here. We have our advance happening this month, October 23rd and 24th in Nashville, Tennessee. We have live tickets and we have live stream tickets. And what I'm going to do is 2 giveaways. So pay attention here, guys. 2 giveaways are happening right now. Number 1, let me put this up so you guys can see it, because that's going to be, let's see if this works right now. Did it work? Yep. Okay. If you go to, and my team will put this in the comments, jaredjamestoday.com/advance. If you buy either a ticket or tickets to the live event in Nashville, October 23rd, 24th, or a live stream, we are going to, at the end of this week, number 1, pick a winner who, whatever your purchase was, we're going to completely refund you. Okay. So 2-day event in Nashville, everything you need to know about being a pro versus an amateur, skill set, like tactical. It's the most relevant tactical event I've ever done. You're going to want to be there. Okay. So whether you buy 1 ticket or 10 tickets, a live stream, whatever it is, we're going to pick a winner at random on Friday. And whatever you bought, we're going to refund you 100%. Okay. So that's number 1. Number 2, it's a big thing right here. A lot of you know that I run a transaction coordination company called Cleared and Closed. Cleared and Closed. And we're at a time right now where the market needs pros. And part of being a pro is creating leverage for your consumer, creating leverage for yourself. And everyone in this industry should be using a transaction coordinator. Every single person, whether you're brand new or been doing it for years, there's no risk. You only pay if you close. It makes you look better. It saves you 8 to 12 hours. It creates more business. It's called being a pro and running a business, not just running around. Every person who shows up to the advance, buys a ticket now or shows up to the advance, or every person who buys a live stream and is a part of our advance, we're going to give you, drum roll, a free transaction with one of our transaction coordinators. Guys, that's insane. That's a lot more than the ticket is, okay? So you're going to do a consult, free consult. We're going to learn your business. There is no expectation of anything beyond that, but you're going to get 1 free transaction so you can see what your life would be different using a TC. So you're getting 2 things. Buy a ticket or live stream to the advance based on this, and we're going to pick a winner on Friday to reimburse you. You're going to get it for free. And second thing, everybody who attends live or attends by live stream, you are going to get a free transaction through our transaction coordination company, cleared and closed. And you're going to get a free one at no cost. And then if you decide to move forward going on beyond that, awesome. If you don't decide to, that sucks. You should do it, or hopefully you have your own already, but that's awesome as well. Okay. With that being said, guys, I want to get to questions. So I'm going to look at Facebook. I'm going to do my best with this, guys. I hope this was helpful. There is so much more that I could cover, but it's just such a big topic. But I hope some of that stuff was very helpful for you. I do want to say before I get to your questions, I don't need any of you to commit. I'm over here talking about be a pro versus an amateur, and I'm talking about the real estate industry. We all need to be pros right now, right? An amateur is somebody who practices enough to get something right. A pro is somebody who practices so much they can't get it wrong. You need to be in Nashville to figure out what it means to be a pro right now, because a lot of good people are going to struggle in the coming years, and I don't want that to happen. But when it comes to social media and it comes to content, look, follow people like me. Go to connectwithjared.com. Follow people like me and learn what you should be doing. But I don't expect you right now to be a pro or to be the best when it comes to social media or it comes to content creation. But we do need to commit to getting better little by little by little by little. And I'm hoping that everybody on here can commit to at least that. Okay. Let's get to questions, guys. I saw somebody here, great content. Can't wait to get started with my coach. Awesome. Glad to have you in our coaching community. I got a lot of things here, guys. I'm going to try to jump over to Facebook and see if I can see the questions easier, because I got a lot of them. Yeah, guys, the recording will be available immediately following on here. Someone said, can you post the Jarja Media link for the digital business card? Yes, we can. I got it right here, I believe. Yep. Here we go. I'll post it right now. It's probably going to go away quick, but there it is. It's just jarjamedia.com/digital card. I'll post also for you guys to connectwithjared.com. You guys can get on that. I will post, let me get rid of this one right here. There's just so many comments coming in, guys, as I'm sure you're not surprised. So let me put, okay, there's the Connect with Jared. If you want to connect socially, jaredjamestoday.com/events. You want to get your tickets. You're going to get a refund. On Friday, we're going to pick one person that we're going to pick and do a refund. Are you posting the same videos across different platforms? In many cases, yeah, I am. I'm just posting them at different times. So I'm allowing them to live. Usually what happens is they have about a 2-day life stage. A lot of times people be like, why do you like your own stuff? Because I know that after like that juice kind of runs out and I go and hit like on it, what's going to happen is going to push it back to the front. Or if you guys notice too, here's another little tip and trick. I don't go and reply to everybody all at once, especially if there's a lot of comments. I do a bunch, then I wait, I go back 4 hours later. I do a bunch, then I go back 4 hours later. Or you might do one, go back because every time I comment, it pushes it back to the front of the algorithm. So don't waste your time doing everybody at once. Answer a couple, go back. Answer a couple, go back. Allow it to just keep pushing it up, pushing it up, pushing it up. I hope that's helpful for you guys. Yeah, do Reels have better reach than carousel posts on Instagram? Well, at the end of the day, it comes down to the creative. Generally, they do, but carousel posts are working really good now too. Instagram made a switch where they went away from pictures completely, and now they've come back and they've been like, as long as the creative is good and it's what people want to see, pictures are back as well. So yeah. Guys, there's no recording. It's going to be right here on my Facebook, on my YouTube, on all of these places. This will just, when we're done, it will automatically record. It'll live here. You can share it. By the way, one more time, guys, if you're watching this, if this was helpful for you, like the greatest way you can say thank you to me is just hit that share button and tell the other people in your network to go and watch this. That would be super helpful and much appreciative. Another person, I can't wait to get started with my coach. Guys, awesome. I didn't even do a push for coaching today, but obviously we do coaching. We coach a lot of people, and we're in a market where you need a coach, guys. It's about pros now. It's not about winging it. Such great info. So great info. Tagging at everyone. If you're the owner of the group and you have a group, when you go down to the comments on a post once a day, you can tag at everyone and it will tag everybody. You'll give a notification to everybody in that group. So yeah, that's always a very helpful thing. Guys, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I'm going to go through these today. I have like an overwhelming amount of comments and stuff coming in that I can't see them all. Like it's just like going down. Speaking of which, I'm going to John Mayer in New York tonight. I feel like when I'm on one of his live streams where it just goes like crazy. So I am going to answer these throughout the day. I'm going to have my team answer these throughout the day. I'm going to head to New York, go watch some John Mayer in New York. Then I'm going to head to Toronto tomorrow. Let me know, guys. Here's another thing for you. I'm going to Madison Square Garden for John Mayer tonight. What bar near there or whatever should I go and get some food that is walkable back and forth? If you know, put it in the comments. I'd love to see that. Guys, I say it all the time. I love you guys. One more time, contest. Get your tickets to the advance, jaredjamestoday.com/advance. Tickets, live streams now available. We're going to pick a winner on Friday and refund you. If you buy 10 tickets and you're the chosen one, you're going to get refunded for all 10. You're also, everybody who attends the advance live and live stream is going to get a transaction through our transaction coordination company, clearedandclosed.com, with no contract for anything further. So hopefully you love it, but we're going to give you one right there. Okay. So make sure you take advantage of that. That's worth more than the price of the ticket. I love you guys to death. I'm going to look through all of these. I just can't keep up with all of them coming in, which is an awesome problem to have. I remember doing these and getting nobody on here, or just trying to get my mom on or a friend on just so I wasn't the only one. So literally, guys, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you guys so much. I can't wait to see so many of you in Nashville. My God, we're only 3 weeks away. My God, I mean, 3 weeks away. I can't wait. I hope this was helpful. I couldn't answer everything. Maybe I'll do it part 2 or something like that. Thank you to all of you that shared, that brought your offices in, that come to the events that I do all around the country and the world. Love you guys to death. I'll get to these comments real soon here. Maybe I'll see some of you in New York, Toronto. I don't know. See you guys soon. Love you guys.